After everyone in your group has finished your individual lesson plan, you will move on to a group lesson plan. Your group lesson plan will be a chart that you'll fill out on paper. There is a fillable version online if you would like as well that you can submit to me through JT Learn, but for first semester, I feel that the group lesson plan on paper is probably the easiest way to go. In order to fill out your group lesson plan, you'll first put in your teaching day. You're going to put the actual date you're teaching. You'll put in your teaching theme. For the first week of preschool that people are teaching, you'll teach fall, so you'll have the fall written there. For the second groups 4, 5, and 6, you'll be teaching all about me, so that's what will be there. The next line talks about the color and the shape. In the first semester, we do a color every week for preschool to reinforce with the preschool students, and in the second semester, we do a shape. I leave the lesson plan the same and just put that in together. So for your color this week, for fall students, groups 1, 2, and 3, you will be yellow. For all about me students, groups 4, 5, and 6, you'll be purple. The letter of the week is the letter that you'll be reinforcing with the preschool kids. So for my fall students, 1, 2, 3, you guys will be doing B and C. And for my all about me students, groups 4, 5, 6, you'll be doing letter D. And you can find this information from the calendar. The last thing you'll do is you'll circle your A, if you are an A, B, C, D, and you'll see in the new version, it will have the word stations on there as well. And you're just going to circle which activity you might be doing that week. Over here, you put your group number, your group members, just their first names is fine, and then here you're going to be putting your aid group. Your aid group is the group that is sitting to the next to you in the classroom. So for group 1, if you are teaching, you work with group 4. Group 4, if you're teaching, you work with group 1. 2 and 5 work together, and 3 and 6 work together. So that's how you'll know who your aid group is. If you're group 1, your aid group is 4. If you are 4, your aid group is 1. 2 and 5, 3 and 6, same way. The next thing you'll do is scroll down and you'll see activity type. This is the math, science, social studies, gross motor, arts and crafts, language arts that you'll be doing for your preschool students. What you're going to do is in this column, you are going to list the activities that you want to work with the preschool kids in order of how you are going to teach it. So if the first activity you're going to do is going to be music, that would be listed first. If this group decided, nah, I think we're going to do arts and crafts first, then they would switch it and have arts and crafts up here. So in this order is how I'm going to see my students teaching the preschool kids. So as I follow along, I'll see this group teach music first, then I'll see them teach arts and crafts, then math, then free play. That way I know what's coming next. The next column is the time column. The time column is a column where you're going to just estimate how long do you think this activity is going to take. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be if you write 20 minutes and it takes 23 minutes, you're not getting 3 points off or anything. It's just an estimate of how long you think an activity might take. I just want to know because as you get further along in lesson planning, you're going to need to gauge how long things are going to take to see if you can fit them all into your hour teaching schedule. So this is just to get you a little bit more familiar with how long things take. I have to figure that out. If something's going to take one class period with you or something's going to take all week, I have to know that. So same kind of thing. You're going to need to know if you can fit all these things into an activity, all these activities into a lesson plan and a teaching day. So as you get better and better with lesson planning, you'll get better and better figuring out the time. But for now, you're just kind of estimating what you think, how many minutes you think this activity is going to take. The next column is a brief summary of your activity. This brief summary just kind of gives you an idea of what's going to happen. It says if it's a book or a song or finger play, you just need to put the title in. What happens is these lesson plans are given out to your teaching aid group, as well as Miss Lopez and myself, and we maybe have never seen your individual lesson plan before. So we maybe need to know what your activities are. Not everyone gets your individual lesson plan, they only get your group lesson plan. So for this music activity, if I'm an outsider and have never seen this lesson before, I can tell that you guys are doing a song called I Have Two Eyes. Very simple. If you're doing arts and crafts and I'm an outsider, I can tell you're doing a me flag. And right underneath it has the description of what the me flag was. Each child has a poster with their name on it, divided into 4 parts. One for age, one for family members, one for favorite color, one for favorite food. As someone who's never seen this lesson plan before, I can figure out what you're doing for that activity. Math activity was Happy Tooth, Sad Tooth. Each child has a tooth puppet with a sad face on one side and a happy face on the other. I'll hold up pictures of food and they must determine if the food is healthy or not by holding up the proper side of the tooth. Again, if someone who's never seen this lesson plan before can pick this paper up, they can know what you're doing. And then the last one is for free play. There you're just going to list what stations you have open and if you have anything specific that you want in those stations. So for Play-Doh, they want the shapes and letter cutters. They wanted to use just squares because remember up here our square was our shape of the week. And they wanted to use letter cutters. So they wanted to use just letter T's. So they were able to pull those ahead of time and get those ready. The drawing and station was open and they have letter T worksheets and orange worksheets. We pretended once that this was orange, your color of the week, so they put in some worksheets. And then the last thing is the blocks and cars area. They put that in. That doesn't need any extra supplies, so it's all set right here. You could just put it there. So you're just listing your areas of free play. The next column is the materials you need. You can get this straight from your individual lesson plan. You can copy it right from there. For music, they didn't need any supplies. For arts and crafts, they needed construction paper, scissors, glue, cutout pieces, newspapers, markers, and crayons. For math, they needed these supplies, and for free play, they needed these. Sometimes you're going to have no supplies, and that's fine. You can write none on that section. The last column of this group lesson plan is who leads it. So who is the person that went and found the activity and wrote the individual lesson plan about it? Who is the person I need to go to if I have a question, or if the teacher's aides have a question, or if Miss Lopez has a question? So you're just listing the people in your group, the names of who's in charge. If there's more than one of you, or more than 4 of you in a group, you are going to double up in some areas. So if I had 5 people in this group, I might have Jane and Scott doing this activity because they doubled up. And that's okay. You'll put a second person in there. So that should help you fill out the front page of your group lesson plan with your group. If you have any questions, let us know.